Matt, how are you?
I'm very good. How are you, Sean?
Good. So, yeah, I've never seen you in tough spots. The other day I saw you in some tough spots. You did very well against the other black belt. What's the other black belt's name? Chris?
Rafael Quinones.
What was the other guy's name? The other black belt that was there?
Oh,
TJ. Now you looked good against both of them. Is that who you've always been under?
Actually, I got my brown belt from Fabiano Tellez, about 4 years ago, and Fabiano gave Rafael his black belt, and now Rafael, maybe like 2 years ago or 2.5 years ago, he took over teaching at Underdog, so now I'm underneath him.
Oh, so that's your lineage. You initially started out under his black belt. He moved on and he promoted a black belt. That's who you're under now.
Actually, I started under Marco Alvin. I got my blue belt under him, and I got my purple belt and brown belt under Fabiano.
Matt last fought at Bellator 144. You won by first round heel hook over Kevin Roddy.
Kevin Roddy, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot that's happened since your last cage appearance. You got married. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
You had a birthday in the holidays. How's married life? Did anything change?
It's easier. There's less stress. I think women tend to have a timeline, and if stuff's not done, like marriage, a house, kid by a certain date, they start to get a little stressed, and I truly believe that's true. And my woman now has her marriage, so there's a little bit less stress involved for both of us, because as a man, I know what she wants in her timeline, and as a woman, she's got a timeline, so that spot is filled.
And Ashley, correct? Ashley?
Yes.
Yeah, that's great. And you guys have a son?
Yes.
Yeah,
My stepson.
Right, that your stepson. Is he in martial arts? Is he following in his father's footsteps right now?
Is he in what? I'm sorry.
Is he going to be following in your footsteps as far as martial arts?
Oh, yeah, he's actually in Jiu-Jitsu right now, and he loves Jiu-Jitsu.
How old is he?
He's 8 years old.
Now, do you try to steer away from doing instructing with him so he gets sort of a different leadership role, or are you there in the mix with him?
I show him stuff from time to time, but I try to keep it fun. I don't want him to feel like I'm just kind of telling him what to do all the time. So he does Jiu-Jitsu at a different school. When he starts to get a little older, maybe next year we're going to put him into wrestling, but when he starts to get a little older and realizes how good I am, then I'll be able to, take the role of leader and teacher. Once he goes, oh, wow, I didn't actually know how good his technique was, how good of a teacher he was. I thought he was just my dad and older, so I think maybe at least when he's like a teenager, I'll probably take over.
We saw each other at CES.
Candalario and I, we went to the fights to scope out a couple guys for him, and now Carlos may be matched up with one of them in the future.
Listen, man, I've been watching Carlos since, obviously as an amateur with PFC. Pretty sure he was the amateur champ there when he stood up Marquise Brewster, stood him up stiff. Were you in his corner for that?
I was.
That was amazing.
Yeah, that was ugly, especially as you were close. And I'm real good friends with Louis Felix, and looking at him over across the cage and then watching Carlos knock out Marquise. I like Marquise too. We're friends as well. Watching him knock him out was like, I didn't raise my hands and be like, yeah, or anything like that. I was just kind of like laughed, and afterwards when we were back in the back, I told Carlos how happy I was for him and how proud I was, but I didn't want to do it out in public and I felt like I'd be rude if I were to play that role of stepping on his head when he's drowning.
I sort of have to have that same reserve in media, especially when we're right next up to the cage. Because, I have built a lot of relationships. A lot of media guys have built relationships to where you want to jump up and be excited, or you want to maybe yell out some sort of instruction or cheer, and you really can't because you have to be unbiased or impartial. So it's tough. It is very, very tough. At CES, you could get away from it a little bit because the writers aren't right up next to the cage, so you could show a little bit of that fan emotion. But when you're right up at Cage Titans or somewhere where you're right up next to the cage, it's tough to have that restraint.
Yeah, I can understand that.
When we saw each other at CES, you said you might have had a targeted return in March, but you were unsure. Do you have any bout updates?
I don't. I'm not going to say anything until anything is signed. But March, March or April, I don't know. I wish I had more concrete, something to give you here. But March or April, maybe.
March or April.
I'm training for March, but we'll see.
So when you start negotiating your new contract, what's most important? Would you rather fight on an undercard for a bigger organization with close, if not the same or more money, or a regional show, less money, but you're on the main card, you're televised, you're in the spotlight? What's more important to you there?
You know what? That's a really good question. Usually I weigh my options. I love both. So we'll take, for example, my past couple fights. I was on TV I was on Access Television for CES, and I think that's awesome. I'm not going to talk about pay either way, but when I'm on Access Television, I get a lot of people watching, there are probably like 25,000 views or something like that from my fight of the week against Kharma Worthy on YouTube, and there are even more people watching it live, and that's awesome for exposure. So you can't really trade that for anything. As far as Bellator, my last fight, that one got bumped up to the main card where there were hundreds of thousands of people watching. So that one played right before the main event, which is awesome. You can't trade that either. But if it didn't get bumped up, then I'd be that guy that got the great submission win that nobody aside from the people watching online saw, which does suck. I've been with Bellator, I don't know how many times, maybe 8 times, 8 fights now, and I got a superb record, and I have awesome fights, great submissions, great knockouts, and I want to be on TV, man. I constantly push for it. So the pay jump and on TV is phenomenal, and we'll see.
I have some stats up here. You're an 8-time Bellator veteran, and I pulled up your bout with your knockout of Kharma Worthy, who actually, I'm pretty sure, but I know that knockout was nominated for Knockout of the Year for the Northeast MMA Awards.
Yeah.
And that's at 34, almost 35,000 views. That was impressive. Tell me how you felt after that knockout.
Good. I'm not a vindictive person. I'm not like a person who gets in there and we're gonna fight, or you're gonna punch me, I'm gonna get you back, I'm gonna kill you. I just go out there and try to perform as well as possible, and just put in the martial arts, and I work a lot with my hands, a lot of my striking in general, and it paid off. And knockouts feel awesome. And to tell you the truth, submissions feel better. I feel like, because knockouts you can get any which way, and sometimes just luck of the draw you can get those, but submissions you really have to set up and then finish perfectly in order to actually get in tap. So I think submissions could be more technical. That being said, the knockout itself phenomenal. Nothing less than phenomenal. But if I had to weigh which one that would feel better, would be the heel hook. I think the heel hook's so awesome.
You got four KOs, 5 submissions, 7 decisions. If you're working on the ground, obviously you're going to take whatever's given to you. But what's your go-to? What are you searching for on the ground once you hit the ground?
Honestly, it's whatever they give me. I'm always looking to punish the person.
And you've found that 4 out of your 5 submissions, you've found that guillotine. It's just been there for you, apparently.
Yeah, people give their neck. If they give the neck, I'll take it.
So, Mangler, was that self-proclaimed or was that given to you? What's the story behind that?
It's not really that interesting of a story. It's pretty unique, though. The very first time that it was introduced to me, I was walking back from a class at the University of Hartford, and my buddy Jared Cotton, who had been training martial arts, mixed martial arts, and had, I think, 2 amateur fights at the time. This was back in like 2006, before I even started fighting or training. He yelled at me in the common area, and he goes, "Hey, Mangler!" And I like looked kind of in his direction. I was like, "Who's he talking to?" And he goes, "Mangler!" And I go, "What's up?" I'm like, "What'd you call me?" And he goes, "Mangler, Maggie Mangler. That would be your nickname if you fought." And I kind of giggled, and we both laughed. And then, never thought twice about it. And then, a year later, I've been training a little, for like 4 months or something like that. And I'm down in Kip's basement. And Kip's like, it's like a month or 2 before your fight. And you need a fight nickname. I was like, "I do?" He's like, "Yeah, what would be your fight nickname?" And, they're saying funny nicknames here and there. Everybody's laughing. And then Kip goes, "How about the Mangler?" And I kind of giggled, but then some people were like, "Yeah, I really like that. I really like that." And I was like, "Funny you say that," because then I told the story about Jerry Cotton in the common area with the University of Hartford. And they were like, "All right, let's stick with that." And I was like, "Cool." And it just stuck. So I guess it was destined to be Matt Mangler.
2 separate people both said it. That's good. That's good. That's that's meant to be. Sound like that's meant to be. On social media, you had said the anticipation's killing you. You want to fight. I know the preparation between MMA and grappling is different. Very, very different. Obviously, you're using your grappling in MMA, but the preparation is different. But does grappling competition satisfy that competitive hunger to fight, or does it just magnify and compound the desire to get back in the cage?
Yeah, they're 2 completely separate things. There's a lot. In jiu-jitsu, it's all technique. It's all technique. Getting out there in front of somebody and feeling the competition, the little anxiety before it, and that's kind of similar. But at the same time, nothing compares to preparing for an MMA fight and the day of the MMA fight and the weigh-ins and this and that, an actual fight. Because I don't fight. Like I said, I'm not an angry person who needs to kill people, but for whatever reason, ever since I was young, I just fucking love fighting. I love it. I love fighting. So I gotta get a fight in before I freak out.
And you've been in the game since 2007. For people who don't know, back in 2007, it was pretty much straight to pro. Is that right?
Yeah, I actually told Kip Kolar that I wanted to fight. He goes, "Okay, I'll get you a fight." And then, 2 days later, he got me a fight. And I didn't know if there was pro or Emmy or what. And then after I fought, I was like, "Apparently there's Emmy fights." And he's like, "Yeah, but it's all the same shit now." And he's like, "The same level fighters, if you're amateur or beginner pro, it's all the same." But now is not the case at all.
Oh no, everybody's so much more prepared.
You gotta fight amateur first now.
To really find out if this is for you. I mean, from the couch, everybody can say, "Oh, I want to do that," but their first class, they change their mind awfully fast. What's one fight you wish you could get back, a do-over?
Are you kidding me? Whatever. I don't want to talk about that. That's, oh man. Because I think every single loss popped in my head. If it was one, I would definitely say Bill Jones fight.
Your second one. Your second one.
Yeah, my second fight. I trained once a week, and it was just grappling. And the other days I was just running on the street. And the reason I did that is because I thought like I said, it was way back when, and nobody really knew what the heck they were doing. And I thought I was in awesome shape, but I was not. I was completely gassed warming up for the fight. Like in the back, I was just so gassed. These are 3 3-minute rounds, and I was
So just to get your timeline, so you started with Kip at Kip's Basement. You headed over to Team Link for a little while, and now how long have you been at Underdog for?
I'm trying to think of fight dates. I think since the beginning of 2009.
And you have some solid training partners over there. And those guys look up to you as the example of success in the gym. And how does that impact you, man? I mean, you know, you got Johnny and Justin and everybody else there looking up to you. How does that impact you?
It's actually good because I'm a really creative thinker, and when I got people look up to me, I always have to. I feel like I have to be even more creative so that I'm constantly teaching them something, and it allows my striking to really evolve all the time. My striking would not be where it is without my striking coach Russell League. My jiu-jitsu would not be where it is without Fabiano, Rafael, and all my training partners, and this and that. But that being said, I'm a real creative thinker, and I grow a lot because of me as well. And with guys that look up to me, like I said, I always feel like I'm put in a position to help them out. And I'm not going to help them out by showing them the same stuff all the time, so I got to be a little creative.
I just saw you the other day. I mean, it doesn't look like 45 is difficult for you to make at all, right?
You calling me small?
No, I'm saying you're well proportioned for your weight class.
What just happened? I just saw you the other day, and I feel like 125 was it.
No, 125. You know, I think you might be able to make atom weight.
No, I'm probably, I think I'm 167 right now, but I was like 175 like probably 3 weeks ago, just eating whatever I wanted to, pizza for, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So, I'm eating healthier now, and the weight just comes right off. So I'm hanging around at 167, and then, I'll gradually lose the weight over time, and then I timed it for a March fight. So.
As some of these pioneers of the sport begin to get older, they end their career. How much do you think concussions are going to become an issue as these guys are getting older, they're leaving the sport? Does that cross your mind, or how do you think that's going to change the landscape at all?
I think we're dumb. I think men are dumb. I think it's not really going to change the landscape at all. I think we're still going to be like, whatever. The mentality of the younger person is, it won't happen to me. It can't happen to me. And the older you get, the more you realize that, oh my God, it can't happen to me. And it did happen to me. Car accidents. Some people who drive with their seatbelt on because they're like, it can't happen to me. All speed and all weave in between, in and out between cars, because an accident's not going to happen to me. And then as soon as it does, you're like, oh, shit just got real. So, that being said, I think that, it won't change the landscape much at all. I think it's obviously a huge issue, and we don't know exactly how it will affect us. You see boxers take a ton of punishment, and then when they're older, obviously it's a little different. But the training is similar. There's a lot of punishment being taken in training. Not nearly as much in the fight, but there's a lot in training. And then, in football, there's a lot, and you see those guys when they're older, where they don't even make it to an older age because they just die at like 50 because of so much punishment. So, that's why I'll keep training jiu-jitsu. I guess I'll keep training jiu-jitsu, and I probably won't spar at all when I'm done fighting.
Now, do you watch a lot of football?
Do I watch a lot?
Or do you watch?
Not a lot, but I watch a good amount. Not like I watch the league like I have DirecTV, but I do watch football.
I've sat and watched football games with people, and I've said, that guy right there, the way he landed, he went out for a moment. You see how he just shook his head? That's not to fix his helmet. It's because he got his bell.
Last week in the Patriots and Denver game, I forget who it was, but it was somebody from the Broncos. There was a report that said he left the game, and he just came back, and he was diagnosed with a mild concussion. Like, looking into his helmet, he looked like his eyes were crossed, and he was all fucked up, and I was like, oh my God, just throw him back in the game. Like, go get him, Julian.
about it. I think, and Dana White has said it, a lot of people have said it, I think boxing is so much more of a dangerous sport because, I mean, you're partially KO'd. He's going to give you 9 seconds to recover, and then you're going to take X amount of more shots to your head. That's just...
Well, sure. Every time there's an 8 count because the guy was, falling against the ropes, and the fight could have been over there. If it's MMA, the fight could have been over, but they let him go uncross-eyed and go, all right, you good?
Yeah.
All their head, all they're hearing is, it's like, shit.
I saw you doing some one-on-ones with your brother. Who's older, you or your brother?
My brother is 3 years older than me.
And how long has he been training with you?
He just started at Underdog probably like 6 months ago. He's been coming 2-3 days a week, pretty consistently. And he's very smart. He's a creative thinker like me. And when he likes something, he loves it. He sticks with it. He's always been really, really athletic. His legs are real strong. He's explosive. So, he picks up on stuff really quick. And I feel like back when I first started, back in 2007, Pete and I started in like 2008. He was doing it once a week with me, and he was actually getting pretty good. He just stopped sometime. Back in like 2010, he just stopped like cold turkey. And I think it's because he hurt his elbow or something like that. And he was like, you know what, dude, I like playing baseball, men's league baseball. So he's like, I'm not gonna keep messing myself up and then not be able to play baseball. So he just stopped. And then whatever got him back into it. He got back into it 6 months ago, and he hasn't looked back.
What's his goal? He wants to just stay in shape, or step in the cage, or compete on the grappling mat.
Yeah, he wants to compete grappling. He wants to be good. And he hasn't really said anything about wanting to get this or that. I think he just likes Jiu-Jitsu like I do.
When we talked at Bellator, you said you have a lot of fights ahead of you left. When you're all done, are you going to get just teach? Are you going to teach at your own school? What's your vision? Are you going to leave the teaching to somebody else and just practice the sport? What's your goal?
Short answer, I'll be opening my own school. I don't know exactly when or where or what, but yeah.
Is that a lot of guys do that, but they wait until their career is over? Is that something you're going to wait until you're all done with fighting to make the decision to open up a school, or?
Yeah, while I'm fighting, I want to be the best fighter possible. So I'll be attending to myself. I'll be a little selfish in that regard. But as soon as I'm done fighting, all my attention is on my students, about their progress, their well-being, how well they're doing. So when I'm at home, I'm focused on my family. When I'm at the gym, I'm focused on me. But when I'm done fighting and I have my own spot, when I'm at the gym, I'll be focusing on my students.
Is there anything going on with Underdog that you want to put out there, just to fighters to watch out for, or you want to let everybody know your Twitter or Instagram handle as well as your Facebook page?
You can find me at Bessette on Facebook, Mangler Bjj on Twitter, Maddie Mangler on Instagram. Those are the 3 social media sites. Yeah, follow me. Awesome. I'm good. I'm good at fighting. Exciting. And I am really good at other things. Yeah, the guys at my school coming up right now are Carlos Candalario, Johnny Lopez. Hopefully Johnny can get a title fight in the near future for reality fighting. We'll see. Trying to work on something for him. Both those guys are absolute killers. And then Justin Valentine and Rios are AMI fighters that we're just constantly improving. And out of everybody
So, Matt, man, I appreciate your time. Again, we were here with Matt the Mangler Bessette. Follow him. I appreciate everybody's time for listening today. Combat Sports Nation.
Thank you.